Outside of Tanner Morgan and Mitch Leidner, there have not been a ton of memorable quarterbacks to play for Minnesota in recent memory. But what if I told you that there was a Gopher quarterback who has a college story so crazy that Baker Mayfield even called him before his first career start? Let me introduce you to Minnesota quarterback Zack Annexstad. We'll talk about his crazy college story and where he is now. But first, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, turn on post notifications, and suggest another video topic down in the comment section. Let's talk about Zack's story, how he made college football history, and why Baker Mayfield talked to this kid. But that's all coming up right after the intro.
I've been having hood dreams, ball player, rap star, Billy been taken, BMW, I ain't got no black on the dog face. Two twin Glocks and make them shake it like a salt shake. Ain't make it to the league, but I'm still ballin', I was born for this. Never thought I'd see the day when I can make it, should I go legit?
Let's dive right into Zack Annexstad's story and how he became a big-time college football player to begin with. First, we have to go back in time and talk about Zack's dad, Scott, who was actually a quarterback for the Golden Gophers back in the day as well. He wasn't a huge college football name or anything, but his kids were both football stars and grew up in Minnesota. Him and his brother were obviously talented players and both had the opportunity to play college football down the road eventually. But they would make a huge switch that not many people expected. They left their hometown of Minnesota for Florida's talent factory known as IMG Academy. Zack had become a pretty big time player at this point, and he would have to beat out another blue chip quarterback for the starting job. Zack won the job as a junior and beat out someone we all have come to know by the name of Kellen Mond. Yes, he actually beat out Kellen Mond, but after Zack struggled, Mond went back in and took the job from him. Still, Zack was a pretty big name and would get a chance to play backup duty and actually started in a couple of their later season games. Despite sitting on the pine, Zack still had a pretty decent amount of high major offers from places like Cincinnati, Southern Miss, and Western Kentucky, who at the time was under head coach Jeff Brom. The problem was that all three programs went through coaching changes in 2016 and 2017, and it made his recruiting process very difficult. This would mess everything up, and since IMG was such a big time prep pool, there was already a quarterback pushing him who would eventually try to take his starting job going into his senior season. The guy was named Arthur Satowski. He was a former 4-star recruit and at one point was committed to the Miami Hurricanes. As we all know, Art would later flip his commitment to Rutgers and became a starter there, but he has since lost the job. As many would expect, Zack was absolutely devastated and he honestly didn't know where to go next. One of his coaches talked to him and had this to say about the situation. "I told him, look dude, I don't know when your opportunity is gonna be. It might not be until you're a junior in college, but at some point, you're gonna have another opportunity to start football games. You just gotta understand, don't change anything. Don't change your approach, don't change the person you are. Keep chipping away, and eventually you're gonna get another opportunity, and you're gonna do awesome with it." Zack would take that to heart, and he apparently came into practice that following Monday with a smile on his face, and he would eventually win back the starting job from Satowski. By season's end, Annexstad had 940 passing yards and 10 touchdowns, and he went undefeated with IMG. Despite that, he was not even a top 100 recruit. I mean, he wasn't even a top 1,000 recruit either. He didn't have a big-time arm like Satowski, and he didn't have a ton of speed like Kellen Mond did, and schools just didn't really see a whole lot in him. Even his dad's alma mater was really difficult to convince, and IMG head coach Kevin Wright had this to say. "I remember sitting with him a couple years ago saying, goodness, what do we have to do to get these kids an opportunity to walk on at Minnesota? Why is that so difficult?" Eventually, Minnesota head coach PJ Fleck saw the potential in him and offered Zack the opportunity to become a preferred walk-on as a Gopher. Of course, he took the opportunity to play for his home state school, and it was a Power 5 program. According to 24/7 Sports, Zack was a 3-star recruit, the number 50 pro-style quarterback, and the 1,468th best player in the class of 2018. So Zack came in and actually had so much potential that he would have an opportunity to be in a quarterback battle with Tanner Morgan for the starting job. It went back and forth all summer, and PJ Fleck said in an article that it was the toughest decision he had to make as a head coach so far. Fleck said that both quarterbacks displayed excellent leadership, but Annexstad, who was a little bit taller, didn't have as many turnovers and showed more of an ability to make explosive plays, something the Gophers had struggled with the past few years, so he was named the starting quarterback. He was a walk-on true freshman who just won the starting job at a Big Ten school, and Fleck had this to say about it all. Quote, "He has an enormous challenge. I told him this. It's 51 years of no championship football here, and I said now everybody's going to think that you're the answer, and there's going to be a lot of pressure and expectation." This is where Baker Mayfield comes in. Baker Mayfield was the first quarterback in college football history to start the Week 1 opener as a walk-on true freshman, and Zack was going to be the second. Baker actually called him on the phone to congratulate him, and while there is not a lot known about what was said on the call, There was a lot of high praise for Zack, and it was a really cool thing, and I remember reading about that back in the day. Zack went on to start against New Mexico State in their Week 1 opener and would throw for 220 yards and 2 touchdowns in his debut game. He would struggle to a degree in their game against Fresno State in Week 2, as they barely held on and won by 7. After 2 scores against Miami of Ohio, Minnesota began to struggle as a team. He threw 2 picks in a loss to Maryland, 3 touchdowns and 3 picks in a loss to Iowa, and then things got scary against Nebraska. Apparently he had suffered a midsection injury in their game against the Huskers, and he had to be taken to the hospital for his injuries, and he would not play the remainder of the season. Tanner Morgan came in and took the starting job, and led the Gophers to a bowl game, and Zack had to sit and watch from the sidelines. He completed 97 passes for 1,277 yards and 9 scores as a freshman, and this was tough for him. Going into 2019, he was going to once again be in a quarterback with Tanner Morgan, but then he got injured before the season even started, and this sucked because he barely played. Tanner would go on to lead Minnesota to its best season in a long time, and they beat Auburn in their BCS bowl game, so many people forgot about Zack. Sadly, the Gophers struggled a lot in 2020, and Morgan did not play as well as his 2019 campaign, but despite that, Annexstad did not really see the field. I mean, he didn't even see it at all. They still kept Morgan as the guy all year, and it seems like Minnesota will probably go with him again in 2021, and I have to disagree with that. I personally want Zack to be the guy, and I hope he gets another chance, but it seems unlikely. He could enter the transfer portal, but knowing who Zack is, I don't think he has the character to do that, and he's going to try to ride it out. Plus, he will have an extra year on Tanner Morgan, so he could play after that. So what exactly happened to Zack and all the hype? Well, he was just about average when he actually played. He got all that hype from Baker Mayfield, and then the injuries just basically ended it all. The main takeaway from this video is not that Baker Mayfield saw this guy or that he made college football history, but the fact that he beat out 2 4-star big-time recruits and managed to start for a big-time Power 5 program as a walk-on. Not many quarterbacks can say they can do that. Not many quarterbacks can say they had a phone call from a Heisman winner, and not many kids can say they started as a true freshman. Zack is a great football player, and I really hope his college football story is not over yet, but as I said, we will just have to wait and see. Be sure to let me know what you guys think of this video. Do you think Zack Annexstad will ever get another chance in college football? And what do you think of his story, or who is another guy who has a similar path to him? Before you go, be sure to give the video a like to help more people see it, subscribe if you have not already, suggest another future video topic, and check out all my other videos on the end screen. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.